Hi all, Midhun back with a new video. So in this video, I'm going to explain about the procurement and some questions and concept in procurement. So it will be useful for the procurement officers for sure, purchasers and quantity surveys who work in tendering and pre-contract, and also for the quantity surveys who are into post-contract but still they need to procure some services or goods. Okay, so I'm straight away going to the one just heads up. I will be touch spacing from basics to advanced level. So maybe for senior level guys, it may find like very simple, but my intention is to cover whatever concept linked with the procurement. So first start with the what are the types of procurement, like when I say types of, when they ask you services, what is tangible and intangible procurement. So when I say tangible procurement is something which you can, when you buy something which you can touch or which you can measure or which you can count. Okay, in my example, you're buying some computers, or you buying some material, you buying cement, you buying raw material. All these are tangible item because you can touch and you can measure it or you can compare it. Okay, that's called tangible material or tangible procurement items. Okay, so you imagine you buy some computers, you can count it, you can compare it, you can touch it. But intangible procurement or intangible items are those items which you cannot touch actually. For example, if I give some example, it will be clear for you. You are procuring a FM consultancy for your company, or you're procuring a cleaning service for the company, or you're procuring a legal service for the company, or a consultancy service for the company. These are all called intangible procurement items because you cannot touch these items, and it's very difficult to measure also. You can't compare it rightly with items and all, because imagine you're taking a cleaning service, very basic example. You cannot compare the service against some benchmark. Only once they start the working, only but you can set some SLA and KPI for sure. SLA means service level agreement, and KPI, key performance indicator. You will tell them like you have to clean every day, you have to change this thing every day. That you can fix, but still you can't touch this item. This is called tangible and non-tangible items. Okay, so there is one more question: what is inventory? Many people have a confusion what's inventory. So inventory is very simple. It's a stock. You buy something and you stocking something. You buy some rebar, you buy some cements, you buy some raw materials or anything which you need to stock. That's called inventory. Okay, so there will be some question like difference between procurement and purchase and also supply. So purchase is very simple, like you buy something and you pay it. That's purchase. And when you supply, it's the process by ensuring the purchase goods reach to customer as supply. In this too is very simple. Okay, but when you come, what is procurement? Somebody asks you a definition of procurement. What is it? You can tell procurement like a process of getting service or goods as per the requirement in a very simple way. Again, it has some other layers. It's not just you get services or material as per the requirement like time, cost, quality. It has a strategic function actually. Strategy function means it's include high level of planning and setting out goals actually, in line with organization needs. Let me give an example. If you want to get some fleets, that means if you want to get some car service or transportation services, you need to decide like a strategy. You're going to buy it, you're going to lease it, you're going to hire it. This strategy you take, but it's not like you can just go buy and pay it. It's not purchase, it's the procurement process actually. You have to take a strategic level decision whether I have to buy it, I have to hire it, I have to lease it. All those decisions will be there. So this is procurement is a strategic function which include high level of skills, planning, organization goal checking, everything will be there. Not just that, it also include, I'm reading from here actually, I have a presentation over here. It include added value, cost, inventory, logistics, purchasing. Again, you have to ensure quality, supply and waste management. It's not just you buy something, you have to ensure it's buying a right cost, you have to ensure right quality, right quantity to be purchased, and it has to ensure the delivery on time, delivery on place actually. And the supply should be as per the requirement. Not just like that, you have to control the inventory and logistics also. You have to ensure the stock is proper, and the logistic full cycle logistics, like packing, delivering, handling, everything should be under them. And after all this, you have to ensure the waste management. Whatever the waste is that you have to manage properly. This is the procurement and the definition. And I mean, this is the difference between procurement, the purchase, and the supply. I hope it's clear with you, guys. This is it's really a very basic concept of procurement. Okay, so as I said earlier, the seniors guys might find this very simple and your basics. Okay, so you heard about expediting. There's concept called expediting. So when you, what is your experience expediting? Somebody asks you as a procurement, because being in a procurement, quantity surveying, contracts administration, you will have always come up with expediting. Expediting is the process of pushing the thing. That's it. Getting thing as early as possible is called expediting. In many companies, there is a designation called expediter. You have to ensure the process is fast and all. If you ask me the definition, the process involved in the progress of an order to ensure the stock received as quickly as possible called expediting. Okay, I hope the basic concepts are clear for you. Now, you guys are being in the procurement or a contracts or a quantity surveying, you should know cost, because you buying something, always there will be a cost element. So you should be able to, because procurement or a contracts is mainly on cost, so you should be know what is elements of cost, different types of cost. I'm sure you heard about different types of cost. First, let me tell, cost is not always money. Sometimes time also money. I'll tell you why I'm telling time is the money. You need to purchase something today, but you couldn't purchase today. You drag till yesterday. So there is a production lost. You need to, for a construction perspective, I will tell you, you need to cast a rebar today, or you need to cast a slab today, but you couldn't get the concrete today. The one day is wasted, and one day, and maybe if you want to ensure you have to do casting today, you need to an emergency, you need to go somewhere, you need to buy on high price and do it. So time also matters. Sometimes effort matters, opportunity matters, material matters, everything is there. So let me go to different types of cost. If it's been asked like what are different types of cost, so there is mainly four types of cost: fixed cost, variable cost, direct cost, indirect cost. Okay, so what is fixed cost? Fixed cost is like, irrespective of the progress or production, this cost will be there, because you are a professional guys, you are a procurement engineer, contracts engineer, or whatever. Whether your company make money or not, they have to pay you salary, they should give you insurance, and the company has to pay rent for the buildings, they need to have payment for fleets, everything this has to do. This is called fixed cost. You cannot change, you cannot do anything. So something cost, variable cost is the fixed cost, irrespective of the progress, production, whatever. This is the cost company, the organization will pay or will going to incur. The variable cost is something related to the production or a progress of a work. So it's include the material you purchase. And if it's a manufacturing industry, raw material you purchase, then there will be wages you pay to the laborers, not the wages paid to the your employee, the wages you pay to the workers. For imagine if you're a construction project is going on, and you have to accelerate the project, you need to complete early, so you appoint a lot of laborers, so the labor cost, you need to pay more for laborers, and you buy a lot of material. So this is like variable cost that is connected to the progress of a work. There is something called direct cost and indirect cost. Direct costs are those costs which is directly connected to the business. Okay, so if you are a construction guys working construction company, you are contractor, if you're a client, the amount of money you pay into the contractor is a direct cost, because, and if you're a contractor, the amount you pay to subcontractor or supplier is a direct cost for you. But what if the amount you paid for the consultancy? So if you're a contractor, you will be having cost consultant, you will be having a lead consultant, so the amount paid to these people is called indirect cost. But again, it's a part of a total cost only, but it's called indirect cost, rather is direct cost. Okay, hope that's clear to you guys. Moving forward, so as I explained, you guys know what is fixed cost, variable cost, direct cost, indirect cost. Let me tell you one more thing. If you heard of hard cost and soft cost, So hard cost is basically those costs directly moving to the progress or production. The amount you spend for it's connected to the cost but different terminology. And there is a big questions coming if you guys might have come across breakdown of organizational cost. Can you tell me that, because you guys only procuring, you guys only controlling the cost, tell me the breakdown of your cost. The maybe if you interview they, because the interviewer may be checking your expertise, what all work you do, what all your expertise. They ask you what are the breakdown of organizational costs. So I'm listing out some major cost heads which you can explain. So first is capital purchases, then insurances, marketing, raw material, research and development, salaries and pension, services, sundry items, training and utilities and vehicle. So capital purchase, if you buy some machineries, you buy some vehicles, you building something, that's all part of capital procurement. You have to start from there. Okay, first you cover your capital procurement, that's the major value item. Okay, you tell I do this procurement of capital item, I buy this machinery, I buy this building, I procure the contractor, then the insurances, then you start from the services. I buy insurances, then obviously you will buy insurance for your project, for your materials, for your staff, everything. Then marketing, if you are constructing a big building and you're a client, you have to do proper marketing for that. Then the raw material, what was the raw material you're purchasing for that. Then and this is the core item, when it comes capex and opex, I would say capital items and opex procurement. So first you have to consider capital, then you should start from the opex. Then you should say research development, salaries, sundry items, trainings, utilities, IT services, then vehicle transport. This is like secondary items, you can say. Imagine, just go through your company requirement. First you said your capital items. Now you have to move to like items like the services. First services, then only you should go to goods. I'm repeating again because it's very important. So first capital procurement, then you should the services, then you should the goods. So in capital procurement, you said you buy contractors, you buy consultants and all. Then services, you say FM consultant, cleaning consultant, sorry, FM contractors, cleaning contractors, leasing contractors, the services. Then you said goods, like you buy vehicle transport, then stationary items, then electricity or payment, insurance, everything you have to list like this way. Okay, so when you explain like this, the interviewer will know, okay, this guy knows something, this guy is involved into capital procure purchasing and also in opex also. Okay, and just moving forward, so there will be a question, the role of procurement department. The role of procurement department, I had highlighted some 10 items over here, that is like core item which I think very important. If somebody been asked you like what are your role, like what is your day-to-day things you do, so you should tell him like, as a procurement department, I will receive end user requirement through mail or through some e-platforms. So my work starts from there. So evaluate the supplies for that. Then you should being a procurement guy or contracts guy, you should participate in the preparation of specification. Specification could be detailed, or sometimes as few pages will be fine for that, but you may involve that. Then review quality standards, something like ISO, TS, or if you're buying a material, use the ISO standard should be maintained, or you should maintain TS standard or ASME standards. Then assess ethical requirement is very important nowadays. It's very important, ethical requirement. You have to ensure you did everything by following ethics. Ethics is the science of moral values, because we guys are working as a procurement guys or contract guys which who going to control the cost of an organization. So always ensure you did everything by ethical, ensure equal rights, no biasing, and if something you find, do whistleblowing, and something you find it's suspicious, inform them. Don't get biased, don't get influenced, don't get no duress, no undue influences. Everything you have to ensure, guys, please. It's very important nowadays. Then once you did all those things, you prepare supplies, you put a specification, you did a ethical requirement, then you decide a strategy which I explained earlier, buy, lease options, then investigates the transport requirement, then review. This is the, so once let you put it this way. First there's an end user requirement, so then you identify supplies specification, you made the RFQ package, then you issue. Now you have to think about the insurance requirement, like Incoterm steps and all, how it could be transported from port to here or destination here. Then you have to ensure the warehousing if materials to be required, and storage things is a stock procurement or not. You have to ensure total life cost for that. Then once you had quotation, ensure you do proper comparison, not just comparison, you do benchmarking, please. That's very important, something you add value to the industry. If you just compare the quotation, it's you comparing with each other. Maybe you'll have budget also, again you compare the budget, but how you do it, it's the correct thing. That is the process. You do benchmarking process. You compare with the element of business, is you might have did some good procurement back in your previous company or a few months before. You want to benchmark that output against your new inputs. So these are major thing I would say. So you have to start from the first stage, end user requirement. You will analyze the requirement, specification, quality. Then find suppliers. Yeah. Then you plot tender. Once you plot tender, then the negotiation phase of it. Then strategies. Then value analysis, benchmarking. Then if it's something material, how it come to the site. You will ensure one more thing. Currency you have to ensure it's a net or gross. Then the full warehousing logistic movement, then your payment also you have to ensure, then asset management, all those things you have to explain when you ask you. Okay, so that is one of the major thing. Somebody ask you and what is your role in procurement, you should be able to tell. I'm explain one more time. So you should tell, evaluate potential suppliers, involve in preparing specification, review quality and standard, assess ethical requirements, compare buy or lease option, investigate transport, review packaging options, research total life cost, calculate currency differences, benchmark prices as I explained earlier, then ensure assets are fit for purpose. If you want to, that's something important I forgot to explain. Whatever you buy should be fit for purpose as per the requirement. If you want to buy a phone for just to speak, you should not be going to buy iPhone. But if you want something, a phone which required from smart for functions or a prestigious requirement, that then you should go for iPhone. So fit for purpose matters over there. Okay, so that's the major thing you should be able to explain when they ask you your main law. So there will be some question: what is stock procurement and non-stock procurement, and what is your expertise? How do you tackle this issue? So stock procurement, basically a procurement which required a stock requirement. You buy something and you stock somewhere. That's called stock procurement. Okay. So this is like a bulk order procurement. Okay. Secondary or tertiary item procurement, where you buy something, you store somewhere. That's called stock procurement. So if you are working construction industry, that you buy cement and you will store it somewhere. You buy rebars, you store somewhere. You buy maybe sometimes you for the what do you call that, backfilling, you buy materials from buyout materials will be there. And this if you're in a manufacturing industry, you will be having raw materials you have to buy. So this is called stock procurement. It include primary sector and secondary sector, something directly related to the production or a progress. So direct this is stock procurement. Just think like you need to stock it. Actually, I will give you some example for stock procurement. Something, you buy coal, you buy raw materials, you buy something wheat or something, you buy cement, you buy rebar. All those things are part of stock procurement. And again, it could be like part of primary or secondary sector. Primary sector is basically, you buy like raw materials like coal, cement, all those things are primary sector. Secondary sector is like come the product. You buy nut, bolt, which is made out of raw materials. You buy something. This is called secondary sectors, which include wearing parts, light, bulbs, plastic fittings, casting. Everything will be part of it. Okay. So moving forward, this is like a stock procurement. And non-stock procurement, now you should know, like, which is not required something called, what do you call it, a stocking or a inventory. The non-stock does not require inventory. So like service like cleaning services, legal services, marketing services, advertising services, these all you don't need a stocking requirement. This is called a non-stock procurement. Okay. And the main part of it is like, it's not directly related to the secondary or a primary industry. It always tertiary requirement. Like tertiary means intangible, you cannot touch this. Okay. So that is about what do you call that, uh, the stock and non-stock procurement. I'm stopping it now, here now, because I explained quite many things. Now we are going to main major part of the procurement, like procurement cycle, procurement strategy, procurement planning, and all. I will explain those things next class. Thank you very much.